Well, first up this evening, the latest on the Karnataka political story playing out right now as we speak in New Delhi. Vasudha, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and Deputy Chief Minister DK Shivakumar are in the national capital and are meeting with AICC President Mallikarjun Kharge now. The impending cabinet reshuffle in the state is a crucial focus, and tied to that is the question of leadership. Sources have indicated that the Congress High Command would like to maintain status quo in terms of power equations, but will there be clarity on the road ahead and the extent of reshuffle if it happens in the state? Vasudha, you were there at Karnataka Bhavan all afternoon waiting for Siddaramaiah. What's your sense on what next in Karnataka?
Well, Virat, which is so funny because we were all waiting for Siddaramaiah, but DK Shivakumar entered and, he also went to the fourth floor and, there's a lot of chaos and confusion. Then DK Suresh also came in and Siddaramaiah was not completely in his mood to make us all laugh. So clearly there is a certain sense of unrest, but the question of cabinet reshuffle will be the top focus is what we understand with his meetings with Mallikarjun Kharge. I'm told that he'll also be meeting KC Venugopal and Randeep Surjewala. But will such a reshuffle happen, and does that mean that there'll be no leadership change in the near future? I'm told that Siddaramaiah is pushing for this reshuffle. Tough questions before the High Command, Veera. A series of meetings at the Karnataka Bhavan. DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah met each other. That was for briefly, and then Chief Minister also, remember, met with the Prime Minister today. The meeting happened around 5 p.m. is what I was told, and he has raised the issue of increasing the MSP for sugarcane farmers in the state, the demand for NDRF funds, and of course the Mekedatu project. I spoke with the Chief Minister's economic advisor and MLA Basavaraj Raya Reddy a short while ago, and this is what he said. What is the agenda of the Chief Minister's meeting with the Prime Minister today?
The Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka, Siddaramaiah, along with our Revenue Minister, in connection with the flood relief funds. You know that under natural calamity, for a drought and as well as for the flood, there is a state level general allocation is there. But unfortunately this year there is a lot of unprecedented rain everywhere in the all area. There is a two type of loss. One is crop loss and another is a property of the government property loss like roads, school building and other this thing. This is more than, there is a 3,500 crores rupees of a loss of the crop as well as this thing. So that's why we want to request the Honorable Prime Minister to give more allocation under NDRF, National Disaster Relief Fund.
ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನಿಮಗೆ ನಾನು ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆನೆ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಬಿಹಾರ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಲೀಡರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸಿಟ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಹಾರ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಧೈರ್ಯ ತುಂಬಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆ ವಿಚಾರನೆ ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾಪ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಪುನಃ ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನೇ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ? ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಬಿಹಾರ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಸೊ ಅವರು ನಾನು ಸೋತದಕ್ಕೇನು ಬೇಸರ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀವು ಧೈರ್ಯವಾಗಿರಿ, ನಿಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಏನಂತ
ಈಗ ಸೋಮವಾರ ಮತ್ತೇನಾದ್ರೂ ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕವಾಗಿ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್
ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಪ್ರೈಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಪ್ರೈಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟವರು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನ್ಯಾಕೆ ರಾಜೀನಾಮೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಆ ಸಂದರ್ಭ ಏನು ಉದ್ಭವ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ನಾನು ಒಬ್ಬ ಶಿಸ್ತಿನ ಸಿಪಾಯಿನಂತೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋನು. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದವರು ಏನೇನೋ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್, ಅವ್ನು ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟ, ಇವನು ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟ. ನಾನು ಯಾವ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಮಾಡೋನಲ್ಲ. ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿರೋ ನಾನು ಹಗಲು ರಾತ್ರಿ ಪಕ್ಷನ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ದುಡ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೂ ಕಟ್ತೀವಿ, ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೂ ಅಧಿಕಾರ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೇನು ಬೇಕೋ ನಾವು ಮಾಡೋ ನಾನು. ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದ ಯಾರು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಇದು ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಚಿಂತೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೇಡ.
Well, those reactions from Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar over the last 2 days, not really just before the meeting, But Vasudha, my own sense is that the High Command would like a status quo, a cabinet expansion may be minor, but not a major reshuffle that could upset the entire power equations. It's the sense we're getting, but anything's possible. Joining us this evening, senior journalist B.S. Arun, who tracks Karnataka very closely, author Rashid Kidwai, and also with us NDTV's Aishwarya Jain. Aishwarya, first to you, give us the latest. Has the meeting with Mr. Kharge happened, and what are you picking up from those hanging around outside there in New Delhi?
It is Karnataka Chief Minister who has met Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge at his residence after the meeting with the Prime Minister. He left for Congress President's residence, and just before that, remember, it was Siddaramaiah who stated about a possible reshuffle in the Karnataka cabinet, and it is now with the top leadership of the Congress party, the Karnataka Chief Minister is meeting. Very interesting, because it is DK Shivakumar who has earlier met the Congress president and stated that it is natural for the party president of the state to meet the national president. Nothing special, he said. And he also mentioned that there were some party matters like inauguration of party offices, and therefore, for some trust-related matters, he is going to meet the Congress president. So, two separate meetings of Deputy Chief Minister and the Chief Minister with the Congress president. Whether it is, of course, the reshuffle on the cards is something that will be very interesting to see, and we'll get those answers only after this meeting that will conclude.
Okay, Rashid Kidwai, after the Bihar results, there are many questions being asked about this high command culture, right? Why shouldn't the Congress party be empowering the regional satraps which have done well for themselves? What is your view of this? And considering that Siddaramaiah wants a cabinet reshuffle so that MLAs are also, there's a projection of strength, and DK Shivakumar probably doesn't want it, how do you see High Command resolving the situation?
Vasudha, very interesting situation. The High Command is actually very weak and vulnerable in the context of the Bihar verdict, and therefore both Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar, like they're trying to provide some kind of strength to, so to say, the Delhi court, and that is where I think the strategy lies, because Shivakumar is a very shrewd politician. He wants to be a successor. He doesn't want to be a challenger, and create an opening where Vasudha and Arun would correct me. There are 2-3 serious players in the state politics who are eyeing the Siddaramaiah's chair on the grounds of the caste equations, etc. Remember, Revanth Reddy and Suku, the two Congress chief ministers, are upper caste. DK is also upper caste. So to move backward and bring in upper caste, this is not something that will go in favor of Shivakumar. So Shivakumar wants to hold horses and wait for the situation where that the High Command would reward him. So therefore, it's a some kind of tacit understanding between the big two to keep others out.
Right. Interestingly, Rashid Kidwai, Vasudha and B.S. Arun, 2 days ago when I was waiting at Karnataka Bhavan, Sachin Pilot came across to see Siddaramaiah. When I saw Sachin Pilot, I was wondering whether DK Shivakumar's fate's going to be very similar to that. B.S. Arun, the sense that people are picking up right now is that, in a sense, the DK Shivakumar camp may have resigned to the fact that till Siddaramaiah actually decides to let go, it's going to be very difficult to make him vacate from that post. How do you see this playing out at the moment? The sense also that we are picking up from people is that a full-scale cabinet reshuffle, as Siddaramaiah wants, may not be really something that Kharge and DK Shivakumar may be aligned with. So they may have a minor expansion of the cabinet or some minor tinkering of it, but not a full-scale cabinet reshuffle. What's the sense you're picking up, given that Assam and West Bengal are crucial states for the Congress that are coming up?
Yeah.
Veera, Congress may have suffered a humiliating defeat in Bihar, but then Siddaramaiah feels it's a shot in the arm for him, because Congress High Command is in no position to effect a leadership change in Karnataka following that result, even if there was a minor chance to do so. So Shivakumar now is in a fix. He knows that it's difficult for the Congress leadership to effect a change. And Siddaramaiah now wants a complete stop on all the talk about leadership change and wants a reshuffle. A reshuffle means there will be no further change of leadership in Karnataka. Whereas DK Shivakumar feels that a reshuffle would end his chances of becoming the next chief minister. So how the Congress High Command will ensure a sort of unity among these two warring factions remains to be seen, and it's incumbent on the High Command to ensure and maybe to say publicly that the present the status quo will continue in Karnataka.
Right. So, Veera, let me also ask you one question.
Vasudha, pardon me, Vasudha, I just want to ask you a question. You met with DK Suresh today, earlier in the day at Karnataka Bhavan. What's the sense that you are picking up in terms of the road ahead? Do you really sense that there could be some changes on the cards, or do you believe status quo is the way forward for the Congress, at least for the next few months?
Yes, Veera, this is exactly the question I wanted to ask you, because, there are some MLAs that I've been speaking with in Karnataka, and these are the same
It's
MLAs.
easier to ask the question than answer it. That's why I shot up and asked you that.
Yes, so I'm going to ask you the same question in a different format, but let me tell you that the same MLAs who are basically saying that Siddaramaiah is the most popular leader in Karnataka in terms of caste outreach, in terms of his own standing within the party, the same MLAs are also a little cautious now, because they feel that 2028 elections rather, may not be fought under Siddaramaiah, so they want to be very cautious about the relationship with DK Shivakumar, which is why this cabinet reshuffle is also being pushed, because you see Siddaramaiah also flexing his muscles. And more importantly, is he going to present the budget in February? Because December 15th is when the Shunya Mass begins, right? And then, of course, there is nothing big that happens, at least according to Hindu customs. And if Siddaramaiah has his way, he could be presenting probably the 18th budget, isn't it, Veera?
The budget comes up in April, but very quickly, Aishwarya Jain, since you're far removed from the story, leave us to make the political speculation. What's the sense you're picking up, very briefly, before I get the last word to Rashid Kidwai and B.S. Arun?
Well, we have got the first images from that particular meeting as well of the Karnataka Chief Minister and the Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge. Now, these are two separate meetings. Just before that, there were some supporters of the of Siddaramaiah standing outside Kharge's residence, and they were the part of the convoy as well. They clearly stated that yes, there will be definitely political discussions that will happen as far as the state leadership is concerned. Close to Siddaramaiah, few people also told us that in the state, particularly within the ruling Congress, because they were earlier the formula of changing the chief ministership. A lot of people within the Karnataka government wants that to happen. The formula that was arranged earlier, that did not come to light. So whether that will be considered or not is something that would be very interesting to see.
B.S. Arun, very quickly, what do you think is going to happen, sir? Because Veera and I do believe that there might not be a big change. What is there in future, according to you?
I think the question is leadership change is almost ruled out now, but how the High Command will pacify DK Shivakumar remains to be seen. I think Shivakumar will definitely derive his pound of flesh by perhaps making the High Command announce that in the 2028 assembly elections, they must announce his name as the face of the next chief minister in Karnataka. One. Number two, very briefly. Number two is that he would like to have his pound of flesh also in the cabinet reshuffle in case there is one, and wants his men, wants his people to be there in as many numbers as possible.
Right. Rashid Kidwai, very quickly, your final take on this.
I'll add to what half the story B.S. Arun has said. I think that that kind of homeopathy pill, that meaty goli that has been given to DK Shivakumar is wait till May 2026. There'll be 2 full years, and then after Kerala election, perhaps the High Command will be in position to force a change and give Shivakumar 2 years of chief ministership. So this is something. Shivakumar is a loyal soldier. He'll buy that whatever Rahul Gandhi or his advisors tell him. So I think Siddaramaiah has 6 more months to live on.
Right. Thank you all of you for joining us on this
4 months,
broadcast.
but that's it keeps going on, right? You never know. You keep waiting, but we'll see how this plays out ultimately, Vasudha.